Welcome back to the CUSA Showcase. Well, Ron, looking ahead, a big weekend on the gridiron, a lot of conference matchups. But first, let's talk about the first SEC team to go to the campus of UCF, the Knights. Is this a winnable game facing Mizzou?
Can I make a prediction?
I wish you would.
This is going to be an upset. I really like UCF. The first thing that stands out, watching them play last year, and we did a couple of their games, I got the sense they had no chemistry. There were some egos involved there, and I think George O'Leary, the head coach, would agree with that. This team's got great chemistry. They've got a new quarterback. Bortles is doing an outstanding job. They've got a good running game, and their defense has been a standout defense. They replaced every defensive coach from last year's team, brought whole new energy to this team. The kids love the coaches, and you look at Troy Davis, 30 tackles already in the season. I think UCF is primed for an upset because Missouri has not played well so far this year.
All right, let's talk a little bit more geographically closer. We have a big battle, the Bayou Bucket down in Houston. Rice and Houston, they're playing at Reliant Stadium. This is definitely the epitome of a crosstown rivalry. I know you have some experience with this one, so talk about the emotional win from Rice coming off that one, and then Houston, they had a bye week. So what do we like?
Well, first of all, I think Bayou Bucket. I love these kind of rivalries. I mean, what is a Bayou Bucket? I don't know. But the thing is, I think if you're Rice, you can't let Marshall beat you twice. You had that emotional loss. You can't come in this week and say, oh, woe is me. You've got to come out and continue to play smash mouth football. Houston, they're reeling. They need a victory in this game. I think the intensity in this football game, at least for Houston is concerned, is going to be high. Can Rice match that emotional level? That remains to be seen, but this is a good rivalry.
Absolutely, and we'll talk more conference matchups. We talked about the Miners a little bit already as far as their non-conference schedule and really preparing them to head into the conference. They traveled to East Carolina. Now the Pirates looking to find a little bit more of that offensive consistency. We know that they've kind of been up and down this year. So talk to me about some of the things that both these teams need to do. We know that Greenville is going to bring some fans, and they're going to have that fan support.
They will probably be selling the place out, and you know, they have the Purple Haze, Jimi Hendrix song going and all that, and the Pirate stuff. That's going to be great. But to me, East Carolina, I thought they'd be a lot better when Shane Carden took over last week. They did not play all that well in the second half in last week's loss. However, Carden is a good quarterback. UTEP comes in. They already got experience. They've played some very tough teams. So how is East Carolina going to react to what UTEP presents, both offensively and defensively? I think it starts with Shane Carden. He's got to have a big game for East Carolina. They do have the home field advantage. They need to take advantage of that, especially since it's a conference game.
Well, now moving away from those conference opponents, crosstown rivalry for the Iron Skillet. It's SMU and TCU. Obviously, this one bragging rights for the DFW area. Now, SMU, they got the better of the Horned Frogs last year. They ended that 22-game win streak. You can bet TCU is not going to forget that one.
I think they're not going to forget it. And the question for me is, how's SMU going to put any points on the board? Because so far through 3 games, TCU's only allowed, are you ready for this? 13 points. That's it. We saw how SMU has struggled in the last couple of games, especially versus Texas A&M. They could not get their offense in gear. Somehow they've got to keep TCU off balance. And that's going to be a tough job for them. It starts with, again, with their quarterback position. Can he step up? And I think TCU is going to have relentless pressure on him. And it's a big challenge for SMU because TCU, obviously, one of the top 25 teams in the country.
Absolutely. Well, now kind of moving away, but definitely a big part of the football season is our tailgating. And SMU, known as one of the best tailgating spots in the country, the Boulevard, said to be an experience, so I had to check it out myself. Here's what I found. Southern Living magazine calling the Boulevard here at SMU as one of the top tailgating spots in the country. Let's go find out why. The Boulevard thrives when the Mustangs are in town, a hybrid of youth and tradition, city and country, all to celebrate food and football.
I think a lot of people come out here for a tailgate. This is absolutely an experience that you have to do. We also have Pruna come out every once in a while with the SMU alumni band, and they rowdy the ponies up, so that's always a great experience to see.
Tailgaters spare no expense to keep it classy under the tents and trees, most notably when it comes to looking good.
It's classy, and I don't know, it's just like, I'd rather show up with everyone dressed nicely.
The ladies all come out in white dresses and cowboy boots. That's pretty unique.
And these Texas tailgates do not function without one thing.
Best barbecue in Texas.
Texas beef being served up every way you can imagine to keep those taste buds singing and turning strangers into friends.
Free food, I'd say.
Free food, yeah. You can't walk like
10 yards without running into someone giving away free food.
We're a close-knit community. We're right next to each other. Everybody's been here for years, and we've gotten to know each other, and we just built a great tailgating community.
SMU faces off with Ole Miss, Hampton-Sydney College, Howard University, and University of West Virginia in the Style Setter category of the nation's top tailgaters. To vote for your Mustangs, go to southernliving.com. So do you consider yourself an elite tailgater? Well, we want to see. Enter your photos, recipes, and tricks, and any tips for the perfect tailgate to Conference USA's Pinterest site. Follow at Conference USA and create your own CUSAL tailgating board and see how you measure up against some of the top tailgaters in the league. Still ahead on the CUSA Showcase, conference play continues on the pitch and a four-peat for one of our volleyball players of the week. But first, let's take a look at the football schedule before we head to break.